Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome if you're new. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and let's get right into today's video. So for today's video, I've already picked out all of the products I'm going to be using, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to easily encapsulate using the Gel X method. I know sometimes it can be a bit challenging, and most of the time it's always done using nail tips, and then you have to encapsulate with like overlaid product. And I know sometimes that may not be the case for everyone, so for today I'm going to show you guys how to easily do it with the easy and simple Gel X method. So firstly, I'm going to be picking out my nail sizes, and these are some full cover tips from Not Polish. I really love the length on these. I feel like these are a bit longer than the other ones I'm used to, so these are really great if you want a longer length. But when I'm picking out my sizes, I do make sure they are a little bit bigger than my nail bed, only because we will be putting product underneath the nail, and if you get one that fits absolutely perfect, you may not have enough room after the product is cured underneath. So always make sure you go a little bit bigger to have enough room for the product and the encapsulated items. But for these tips, I did feel like they were a little bit squared to fit my cuticle area, so I'm going to be taking my hand file and just doing a little bit of customization around the cuticle. I'm not going to file too much on the side walls, because then that would just defeat the purpose of getting a bigger size. So I'm just going to go like around the back area, like the cuticle, and just round it out. And once I did that to all of them, I did go ahead and put them on my nail stand upside down, because that is how we will be working with these nails. And then also I did forget to file the free edge, so I'm doing that now. And when I'm filing the free edge, I do have it upside down because I do want to minimize all of that dust from getting underneath the nail, just to save a lot of the unnecessary cleaning and dusting. But of course, you still want to make sure that you go in with a dust brush or some alcohol to make sure all of that dust is removed. And now we are ready to start our design. So I did pick out some items. I got these paper decals, sort of like sequins, but they're more like paper feel. I feel like these would be a lot easier to encapsulate, because with the paper ones you can bend them a lot more. They are a little bit more flexible, so these would be ideal to encapsulate using this method. And then I also have this glitter mix here from Colorful July. I really love this glitter. And then also I have two polygels. The Model 1's polygel is one that I got in the huge polygel kit I just unboxed in one of my last videos, so if you haven't checked that out, I'll link it down below or in the cards. And then I have a green polygel, which is from Rosalind, and I will be adding some glitter into that polygel to customize it a little bit. So now that that's over, I'm going to be showing you guys how to actually encapsulate using the Gel X method. So of course we will be needing some base coat or something of your choosing. This base coat was a little bit on the runnier side. It was like a more thin consistency. However, I do feel like something a little bit thicker may help hold the pieces in place a lot more, like a rhinestone glue or a builder gel. But this base coat did still work. What I recommend when doing this, have a pair of tweezers or something that you can move the pieces with and hold it down without getting your hands in the way. So I'm using a long set of tweezers, and also make sure to have everything out handy so you don't have to keep reaching for it. And as you guys see here, I'm just placing the items down and flash curing it in my little light. So this part, it did feel a little bit tedious because I did have to keep going back in with the base coat. When I first did the base coat, I added a layer in the entire nail, but once I end up flash curing the first piece in place, it just ended up curing all together. So for this part, if you are doing separate pieces like this, I do recommend just putting a dot where you want that piece to go and flash cure, so it doesn't look too weird from the top view. So once I got my snowflakes on, I did go in with some smaller items like these gold circle pieces. And still throughout this entire thing, I'm going to be doing all of them the same way. So I know it may take up a little bit more time depending on how much you decide to encapsulate. If you were to just do some glitters, of course you just go in with a base coat on the entire nail and pour until you like it, and then go ahead and give it a flash cure and seal in with a top coat. But the pieces I'm using do take a little bit more time, so that's basically what I'm going to be doing. And also I do recommend that you guys look at it from the top view to make sure that it looks right in the right place. And that's basically how we're going to be encapsulating throughout this entire set. I will be encapsulating these items into 4 nails, which I will just let play out for you guys so you can see, get a really good idea of how I'm doing each piece. And also I will be adding some glitters, so I'll just let all of this part play out. If you have been wondering how to encapsulate using this method, because I know a lot of you at home get gel tips and you do gel extensions, so this is going to be really helpful to someone who doesn't really know how to do this, or just didn't feel comfortable doing it. I feel like this is just an easy way of encapsulating using the gel X method. So these are all the bigger pieces I'm going to be adding to this nail. I did go in with more base coat over the entire thing, and now I'm just going to be squeezing this glitter onto like the empty spaces just to add a little bit more in the background. Also keep in mind, whatever you add first inside of these nails is going to show like on top of the nails, so it's kind of reversed like the Femme Beauty method. Always keep that in mind. Whatever you want to be on the top surface, you add first. And once I add all my glitters and cure them in place, I do top it off and seal everything in with a glossy top coat, and then I put it in my bigger light to cure for 30 seconds, and then I just moved on to the next nail. So for the first nail I added a base coat over the entire nail, but for this one, just because it was just easier and it worked out a lot better, I'm just going to be adding a dot where I want that piece to go. Like for my snowflakes, since they are bigger, I'm going to be adding a dot and then just doing them one by one. And then I'll go in with the gold pieces and the little green pointed stars, just adding them in the places where I want them to be. And then the last thing I'm going to be adding are the fine glitters I got from Too Cute. I will try to leave all of these decoration pieces down below, even though it may be a little hard, but I will try. So make sure that you check out the description box for all of my links and discount codes, affiliate links, and all of that good stuff. And yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing for these nails. These 2 nails I did here are my pinky and my index nail. I want to do these the exact same way. Next, I'm moving on to the middle nail, and for this one I wanted to encapsulate a few different pieces in here. So this is going to be like the first packet of pieces that I showed you guys. I'm going to be adding a lot more of those into this one. Like you see, I already got a Christmas tree right in the middle, which was so cute. I do end up adding some Santas and reindeers, snowmen, and stuff like that. I feel like it was just a really cute mixture of Christmas items and Christmas themed stuff. And I don't know if you guys realized, but on the first 2 nails I didn't go all the way up to the cuticle area because I will be doing like an ombre using some polygel. But for this one I will be working everything up to the entire cuticle part. And so just a little tip when it comes to encapsulating this, trying to get it to look perfect from the top view. When you have bigger pieces like this, I do recommend that you guys flip the nail over and cure that way. But while you're curing, make sure that the item is fully pressed into the gel, because if not, you may end up having some air bubbles or it may look a little wrinkly. So just to prevent all of that and have it looking like really messy, I do recommend that you guys flip it over and cure it while pressing it down, so that there are no air bubbles or wrinkles. And also try to make sure that you are really steady, because if you flash cure it in one spot and then it end up slipping to another, it may have like a wrinkly look as well. So just keep all of those in mind. Just be really patient and really just take your time doing this, and I promise you they will come out really neat and really cute, and it will have that seamless acrylic or polygel look that you guys are looking for. And yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be doing for this one. Like I said, I'm going to be taking everything up to my cuticle area and have this one a full encapsulated nail. And always make sure when you're done encapsulating to really dust off the nail, especially if you add glitter, and then go ahead and seal with a glossy no wipe top coat to prevent anything sticking, pulling, or dust getting stuck to the product. And then I'm going to be repeating that to my thumb, and I'm going to be encapsulating more of those bigger pieces. Let me know down below in the comments if you are enjoying today's video, if you are learning something, if you plan on trying to encapsulate using the Gel X method, or if you already tried it. Let me know how it turned out for you and if you like this method over the polygel or acrylic way. So now that we're done with all of the encapsulated nails, I'm going to be taking this Rosalind polygel and I'm going to be squeezing some onto my nail palette because I didn't want this just to be green. I wanted to add some glitter in here, and I'm pretty sure I do, but I could not find any glitter green polygel, so I'm just going to have to make my own. Once I squeezed out some polygel, I'm going to be adding some glitter on top and just mixing that together. I'm going to keep adding until I'm satisfied with how it looks. And then I'll just be doing my last and final nail using the Femi Beauty method, just putting the polygel inside of the nail tip and applying it to my finger. I haven't done the Femi Beauty method in such a long time. With the Femi Beauty or Lazy Girl method, you put the polygel inside of the full cover nail tip and work it in there. It's very similar to a dual form. However, with this full cover nail, you will not be popping it off, which helps with the structure and the shape. With dual forms, of course, once you cure it, you pop off the dual form and you can't reuse it. I feel like I get that a lot in the comments on like my older videos. They're always confused if like the dual form way and the full cover nail tip way is the same thing. So if you have been wondering, the dual form you pop off, the full cover nail tip you leave on and cured. You want to make sure to thin the polygel out around the cuticle area just so it doesn't have a lot of spillage. Make sure it's all the way up on the sides and all the way down to the tip, just making sure that it's completely covered into the nail. And once it's all even and you're satisfied with it, you are ready to apply it to the nails. You can let it sit just a little bit. I feel like that helps get the polygel a little bit smoother. Just letting it sit inside of it, it helps self-level as well. But once I'm done, we are ready to apply these to my nails. So I'm going to be starting off with this one since the polygel is already inside of it. I'm just going to be adding it onto my nail. As you guys see here, I do have a little bit of spillage, so I'm going to be taking my brush, dipped in some 91% ice purple alcohol, and just wiping that away until I'm satisfied with how it looks. And once it's straight, I do go ahead and cure. Also, I do try to smooth it out underneath. This part is easily to prevent if you don't use a lot of polygel from the beginning, because if you have too much underneath the nail, it's just going to start to like be pushed around underneath and you will have to do a lot of cleanup, which is just gonna make the process a lot messier. So make sure that you're not using a ton of polygel underneath these full cover nail tips. However, if it is impossible for you to prevent, you can just go ahead and clean up with an e-file underneath the nail with a really small drill bit. Once I got the first one on and cured, I'm going to be taking that nudish pink blush polygel. This is such a pretty color, and I'm just going to be putting it near the cuticle area and ombreing that down into my glitters. And to apply them, I'm going to be doing the same thing. But with this polygel, I felt like it was a little bit more difficult because this is a softer polygel. In my last video where I unboxed this huge polygel kit, I did tell you guys that the polygel was more on the softer side. So for that reason, I did get a lot more spillage and it took me longer to actually apply it. But when it actually came to applying the product and blending it down, I had absolutely no problem. I actually enjoyed the fact that it was soft and buttery because it made my ombre look really seamless, and it took me no effort at all. So that I could really appreciate it being soft and buttery. But however, it did take me a little bit longer because it was soft to apply it. So now that I got all of my nails applied and cured, this is how they are looking. I have a lot of spillage and they need to be cleaned up desperately. So I'm going to go ahead and take my hand file and my e-file and just shape them up a little bit, file around the cuticle to remove all of that spilled product. after all of the shaping, filing, and buffing over the surface, I am going to take a lint-free wipe and wipe them down so I can remove all of the dust. And this is how the nails are looking. They look a lot better, and I really love how they look around the cuticle area. Some of them I did file a little too much, but I will be adding some rhinestones to hide it. For my green nail, I'm going to be adding some stripes just because I couldn't really figure out what to do here, so I just felt like stripes would look really cute. So I'm taking a white gel polish from Bomb Nails. This is my go-to white gel. It's so good. I love to use this one. And I'm just going to be doing the stripes using my Vita Bella line art brush. For my rhinestones, I'm going to be adding some of my rhinestone glue, and it worked this time. I think last time, if you guys remember, I said it didn't work. I think it was because I applied it to a top coat. I'm not sure, but this time it worked and I didn't have on a top coat, so hopefully that was the reason. Now I know not to apply on a top coat, but I'm going to be adding some of these gold and green rhinestones around my cuticle area, keeping it really simple, and to disguise where I felt a little too much. Once I get on my rhinestones, I'm going to be adding on my glossy top coat and curing for 30 seconds. Then I'm gonna go in and add some cuticle oil, because look at my hands, y'all, they're so ashy. I forgot to add lotion before this, but I'm gonna be adding some cuticle oil and rubbing that in. Once I finish rubbing it in to re-nourish my cuticles, this is how the finished nails look, and I think these look so cute. I love the fact that they actually look like acrylic nails. Like, they just look so stunning. You couldn't even tell I applied them the gel X way. So if you've been looking for a way that you can easily do it and have it look like acrylic or a polygel set, this is definitely the way to go. It was super easy. It was a little bit tedious, but it didn't take a lot of effort at all. And I really love how the ombres look. I feel like that polygel was perfect because in my opinion, that ombre looks super flawless. And I also feel like I added the perfect amount of glitter to showcase these Christmas nails. See, I just love how these nails turn out. And that basically wraps up today's video. So let me know if you learned anything or if you will be trying this. I feel like it was super easy and beginner friendly. And yeah, let me know what you thought about today's set. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.